The roar of engines had once been music to Liam Grady's ears. As a Marine veteran, he'd joined the Iron Wolves looking for a new kind of brotherhood, a bond like the one he'd lost after leaving the battlefield. The gang offered camaraderie, purpose, and the adrenaline rush he craved. For years, he felt alive among them, riding through open highways, sharing beers at smoky clubhouses, and protecting their turf with unwavering loyalty. But lately, things felt different. It started with whispers in the back rooms of the clubhouse, new faces appearing for business meetings, and the Wolves' leader, a charismatic but ruthless man named Mason, spending more time behind closed doors than on the road. One night, Liam overheard a conversation that made his stomach churn. "Shipment's coming in tomorrow," one member said. "5 girls, high demand for them." Liam froze. His mind raced, hoping he'd misheard, but the tone of their voices, the casual cruelty, made it clear. The Iron Wolves weren't just running guns and drugs anymore. They were trafficking people. That night, Liam sat in his garage, staring at his Harley, his mind a storm of rage and disgust. He couldn't believe the men he'd called brothers were capable of something so vile. But the truth was undeniable. He thought about his wife, Clara, and their 6-year-old daughter, Emma, asleep in the house. What if someone had taken them? The thought made his chest tighten. Liam knew he couldn't stay silent, but leaving the Wolves wasn't an option, not without consequences. The next day, Liam approached Mason, hoping to appeal to the man he'd once respected. "We didn't sign up for this," Liam said, his voice low but firm. "This isn't who we are." Mason leaned back in his chair, a cold smile spreading across his face. "You're either in or you're out, Grady. No middle ground." "I'm out," Liam said, his jaw tightening. Mason's smile vanished. "You don't walk away, brother. You know too much." Liam spent the following weeks looking over his shoulder. The Wolves hadn't acted immediately, but he knew it was only a matter of time. He installed extra locks on the doors, set up cameras around the house, and even slept in the living room with his gun nearby. Clara noticed his growing paranoia. "What's going on, Liam?" she asked one night. "It's nothing," he lied, forcing a weak smile. "Just work stress." But Clara wasn't fooled. The retaliation came swiftly and brutally. One evening, Liam returned home to find the house eerily quiet. The lights were off, and the door was ajar. "Clara, Emma," he called out, his voice echoing through the empty halls. On the kitchen table, he found a note written in Mason's familiar scrawl. "We have them. You know what to do." Liam's hands shook as he read the words. He knew exactly what Mason wanted, his silence. Desperate, Liam drove to the clubhouse, his heart pounding. The Wolves were waiting for him, their faces shadowed under the dim glow of the overhead lights. "Where are they?" Liam demanded, his voice cracking with fear and rage. Mason smirked, leaning casually against his bike. "They're safe, for now. But if you even think about going to the cops or stepping out of line, that changes. You'll do what we say, when we say it. Understand?" Liam clenched his fists, his mind racing with options. But there were none. He nodded, swallowing his pride and rage. "I understand." For weeks, Liam played along, doing whatever the Wolves asked, all while secretly searching for a way out. Finally, his break came when he overheard the location where Clara and Emma were being held, a remote cabin deep in the woods. Under the cover of darkness, Liam rode out alone, his mind steeled for whatever was waiting for him. The cabin was guarded by 2 wolves, but Liam's military training gave him the edge. He took them down silently, slipping inside to find Clara and Emma bound, but unharmed. Tears streamed down Clara's face as Liam freed them. "I thought we'd never see you again," she whispered. "You're safe now," he said, holding them close. But deep down, he knew the Wolves wouldn't let this go. The next morning, Liam sent Clara and Emma to stay with relatives out of state. "Don't come back until I tell you it's safe," he said, his voice breaking. "What about you?" Clara asked, her eyes filled with worry. Liam forced a smile. "I'll be fine." But he knew the truth. He wouldn't be. That night, Liam returned to the clubhouse for one final confrontation. The Wolves were waiting, their faces grim. Mason stepped forward, his smirk gone. "You knew this would happen," Mason said, his voice icy. Liam stood tall, his fear replaced by defiance. "I'd do it again." Mason nodded to one of the men, who raised a gun. Days later, a hiker found Liam's Harley parked near a remote trailhead, its engine cold. His body was never recovered. Clara and Emma eventually returned, but the life they'd known was gone. A roadside memorial appeared near where Liam's bike had been found, adorned with flowers, dog tags, and a plaque that read, "A man who chose what was right over what was easy." But for the wolves, life went on. Their empire grew, their crimes remained hidden, and Liam's sacrifice faded into obscurity. The end. Let me know your thoughts.